The COVID-19 pandemic has taken a huge toll on our region and on the world. It has cost thousands of lives and put a heavy burden on our economies. The region's economies have been affected via various channels, from steep falls in domestic demand due to lockdowns to plunging export and tourism due to the global nature of the pandemic. As a result, developing Asia will contract for the first time in nearly 6 decades this year. This has set back efforts to lift hundreds of millions of people in our region out of poverty. There is quite a divergence across the region. In East Asia, the outbreak has been largely contained and activity is picking up. In fact, People's Republic China is expected to still grow this year by 1.8%. But in other economies in South Asia, Central Asia, and Southeast Asia, outbreaks are not yet under control. Containment measures are still partly in place, depressing economic activity. And while the Pacific economies have avoided having significant outbreaks, the collapse of global tourism has hit those economies hard, leading to double-digit contractions. Growth is forecast to rebound to 6.8% in 2021, but this is partly due to the comparison with a very weak 2020. GDP next year will still be substantially below expectations before COVID-19. This means the recovery will not be V-shaped, but more likely to an L-shaped or swoosh-shaped recovery. And the paths to recovery remain precarious. A prolonged pandemic in the form of extended first wave in some economies or recurrent waves of outbreak in others is a main risk to the outlook. It would lead to protracted containment measures and precautionary behavior with associated supply and demand side disruptions. This would leave lasting scars, erode economies' productive capacity, and possibly result in financial crisis. Policy priorities must center on protecting lives and communities, ensuring the safe return to normal activity, and supporting the most vulnerable. Aggressive testing, tracing, and treatment and isolation alongside sustainable social distancing are essential to contain outbreaks. Without these, generalized lockdowns only flatten the curve at a great economic cost and are not sustainable. Asian governments have taken many measures to combat the pandemic. As of end August, policy packages amounted to $3.6 trillion, equivalent to about 15% of regional GDP, mainly income support. Central banks in the region and globally have also eased monetary policy and provided liquidity. But financing conditions remain tight for many, such as small and medium-sized enterprises.